You know that moment when you realize your neighbor is a walking, talking nightmare? Yeah. I had that moment. I had moved into my house about a year ago, nice place, quiet neighborhood, no HOA. Thank God. And I finally thought I'd found my peaceful little sanctuary. Big backyard, nice patio, a pool, which, as it turns out, was a major selling point for certain uninvited guests. Let me introduce you to Karen. She lived a couple of houses down from me, and if you've ever met a Karen, you already know exactly what she was like. Blonde bob cut? Check. Resting, I'm the queen of this neighborhood face? Double check. The ability to make everything about herself? Oh, absolutely. For the first few months, she was just an annoying presence, always complaining about someone's lawn, sending passive-aggressive texts about street parking, acting like she was the mayor of the block. But I ignored it. After all, I barely interacted with her. Until I caught her in my pool. It started small. Weird little things I didn't think too much about at first. One day, I came home after a long work trip, dumped my suitcase inside, and decided to step out to the backyard. And that's when I saw it. Wet footprints. Leading from my pool to the side gate. Now, I don't have kids. I don't host wild parties. And unless some very polite burglars had broken in for a quick swim and then left without stealing anything, this was suspicious. But I shrugged it off. Maybe it was just one of the landscapers rinsing off their hands or something. No big deal. Until it happened again. A week later, I got home early from work, stepped outside, and saw a pink flamingo pool float that I did not own lazily drifting in the water. I frowned. What the hell? I picked it up, turned it over in my hands, and there it was, a monogrammed initial. K. Karen. I didn't have to wait long. That evening, I was grilling some steaks on my patio when I heard the unmistakable sound of someone opening my side gate. I turned my head just in time to see Karen waltzing in like she owned the place. In a swimsuit. With a towel over her shoulder. And a drink in her hand. You ever have one of those moments where your brain just refuses to process the audacity in front of you? Because I just stood there, tongs in hand, trying to comprehend the absolute balls on this woman. She froze when she saw me. But only for a second. Then, she gave me a casual little wave. Oh, hey there. You're home early. Oh, so that's where we're at, huh? I stared at her. Yeah. I live here. She laughed. Oh, I know. I just mean you're usually working, so I figured you wouldn't be using the pool. I blinked. Karen, this is my house. Yeah, and a gorgeous pool, by the way, she said, stepping closer like we were just having a normal chat. I mean, think about it, you're always away, and it's just sitting here, unused. Wouldn't it be better if someone enjoyed it? Yes. Me. Because it's my pool. She waved a hand dismissively, as if I had just said something ridiculously dramatic. Oh, come on, it's just water. It's not like I'm damaging anything. I let out a slow breath, trying to process the sheer level of entitlement I was dealing with here. You know, I said, crossing my arms, you could have at least asked. At this, she actually rolled her eyes. Ugh, don't be so dramatic. I clenched my jaw. Oh, I'm the dramatic one? Okay, well, just so we're clear, you do not have permission to use my pool. Ever. She sighed like I was inconveniencing her. Fine, whatever. I have things to do anyway. And then she just walked off. Didn't apologize. Didn't act embarrassed. Just left, as if I was the unreasonable one here. I stood there for a moment, staring at the flamingo float still bobbing in my pool, and thought, surely that's the end of it, right? Right? Oh, how wrong I was. A few days later, I ran into her while checking my mail. And because I wanted to give her the smallest benefit of the doubt, I decided to poke the bear a little. Hey Karen, I said casually, been enjoying any pools lately? She barely looked up from her phone. What? No. Why? I raised an eyebrow. You sure about that? She scoffed, crossing her arms. Ugh, as if I even need your pool. Interesting. Because I had just checked my security camera this morning and found brand new wet footprints leading from the pool to the gate. Oh, Karen. You just played yourself. That's when I decided. Enough was enough. It was time for revenge. See, back in my college days, we used to pull some elaborate pranks at our dorm parties. And I suddenly remembered one that would be perfect. The fluorescent pool trick. It's simple. You get some non-toxic UV-reactive dye, pour it into the pool, and wait. It's invisible in normal light, but the moment someone jumps in, boom. Human glow stick. So, step 1, installed new security cameras. If Karen was going to keep sneaking in, I needed proof. Motion sensor activated, 24/7 recording, and a direct notification to my phone. Step 2, prep the pool. A few drops of special dye, strategically mixed in so it wouldn't show until someone swam in it. Totally harmless, just hilarious. Step 3, prepare for the social media event of the century. I was part of the local neighborhood Facebook group, where people posted about lost dogs, yard sales, and the occasional HOA complaint. This was going to be much better. Then, I waited. And less than 24 hours later, Karen took the bait. So there I was, sitting at work, pretending to care about emails, when my phone buzzed. Motion detected, backyard. Oh, Karen. You just couldn't help yourself, could you? I pulled up the camera feed, and bingo. There she was. Strutting into my backyard like she was on a goddamn vacation, towel slung over one shoulder, a drink in her other hand, and an entirely unjustified sense of ownership radiating off her. I nearly cackled. This was it. This was the moment. Time for the live stream of the century. Before she even dipped a toe into my pool, I tapped into the neighborhood Facebook group and started a live stream. Now usually, this group was for boring stuff. Someone lost a cat, someone's kid was selling Girl Scout cookies, someone was ranting about a garbage can being 2 inches too far from the curb. Not today. Today, it was Karen's reality TV debut. The comments started rolling in immediately. Wait, is that Karen? OMG, why is she walking into your backyard like she owns it? I knew she was sketchy. I turned up the volume and sat back, watching the magic unfold. Karen set her drink down, slipped off her sandals, and gracefully dipped into my pool like she was filming a damn spa commercial. For about 30 glorious seconds, everything seemed normal. Then, it happened. The glow up, literally. At first, she didn't notice. She waited around, sighed dramatically like some bored housewife in a perfume ad, and then, oh my God. She stopped. Looked down at her arms. Her bright, neon-glowing arms. Cue the banshee scream. Karen started thrashing. Like, full-on demon exorcism, flailing at the water levels of panic. She looked like she had been dunked in radioactive goo. And in the daylight, it wasn't even that bad yet. Wait till she got inside under a blacklight. Meanwhile, the Facebook chat was going feral. Holy SHD, she's glowing. Is this a filter or is she actually that color? Bro, she looks like a cyberpunk villain. I'm crying. Karen, still screaming, scrambled out of the pool, looking like a neon highlighter had come to life, and bolted for the side gate. But here's the thing, the dye doesn't come off easily. So as she ran, she left glowing handprints on everything she touched. The gate? Neon smear. Her towel? Neon disaster. Her drink? Rip. And I was wheezing. A few hours later, after letting the live stream marinate in all its legendary glory, I got home. And waiting for me? A very, very angry Karen. Now, if this were a normal person, she might have been embarrassed. Might have apologized. Might have even laughed it off. But Karen? Oh, Karen was fuming. Her eyes were wild, her face still had faint traces of neon. Apparently, she had scrubbed herself raw and still couldn't get it all off. And she was standing in my driveway like she was about to deliver a court summons. She was shaking with rage. And the moment I stepped out of my car, oh boy. Here we go. The ultimate Karen meltdown. You poisoned me, she screeched, pointing an accusing, still faintly glowing hand at me. I blinked. I what? You put toxic chemicals in your pool to attack me. I snorted. Couldn't help it. Karen, I put fluorescent, non-toxic, perfectly safe dye in my own pool. I tilted my head. Are you saying you broke into my yard again and swam in my pool without permission? Karen froze. Oh, she knew she had walked into that one. She opened and closed her mouth like a goldfish, trying to come up with a response that didn't immediately incriminate her. And then she doubled down. This is illegal. You set a trap. A trap? On my property? For you. I gave her my best concerned citizen look. Karen, why would I need to trap someone who isn't supposed to be in my yard in the first place? She twitched. Her final defense mechanism kicked in. I'm calling the cops. Ah. The Karen war cry. Now, here's the best part. She did call the cops. And because I am a fully prepared petty genius, I had receipts. When the officers showed up, I greeted them with a smile and played back the crystal-clear security footage of Karen trespassing, twice. Then I casually showed them the Facebook live stream, which at this point had over 50,000 views. Karen? Dead. Silent. The officers turned to her. So you broke into his yard, used his pool without permission, and are now mad because he made it colorful? Karen turned beet red. And in that moment she knew. She was done. The officers gave me a sympathetic look. Sir, would you like to press charges? Now I could have. Trespassing? Easy case. But honestly, I didn't need to. Karen was already ruined. Her Facebook humiliation was eternal. People had made GIFs, remixes, even a freaking EDM edit of her screaming while glowing like a nightclub sign. So I just smiled and said, nah, I think she's suffered enough. And that was the final nail in the coffin. A week later, I noticed something beautiful. A for sale sign. Karen was leaving. She couldn't handle the mockery, the whispers, the fact that everyone, from Linda the PDA mom to old man Jerry, knew her as Glowstick Karen. And just like that, she was gone. I still get random messages from people sending me memes about Karen's glowing incident. Sometimes, late at night, I pull up the Facebook video, scroll through the comments, and laugh myself to sleep. And my pool? Still perfect. Still Karen-free.